Hello everyone, it's really a pleasure for me to be here today. I'm Jo Puri and I'm the head of the Independent Evaluation Unit, fondly also called the IEU. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what is the IEU, why is it important, and what do we do there? And also, why should you be interested in what the IEU does? So, the first question, what is the IEU? Okay. At the 6th meeting of the board, the mandate for the IEU was provided. And essentially it says that the IEU will inform the board on identifying lessons for implementation, will provide guidance to the fund and its stakeholders, and will provide strategic advice. It also says that the IEU will undertake independent evaluation of the fund's performance and provide evaluation reports not just to the Conference of Parties, but also to the UNFCCC and the Paris Agreement. Last but not least, the IEU is also charged with informing the processes and results of the GCF so that the GCF's effect and efficiency can inform the replenishment process. You may have heard about a theory of change that you get asked to do every time you think about a proposal or you think about a project. Not surprisingly, the IEU also has a theory of change, and a theory of change which really builds into it in a very critical way your integral participation. So let me start. First, we think about providing and producing trusted, high-quality evidence through evaluations. This, we believe, will help to inform investment policies of the GCF, which will help to produce greater impact of investments, and which we think will improve overall Earth health. In all of this, therefore, we have a tagline for the IEU, which you will find on all of our products. And this is trusted evidence, informed policies, greater impact. So in all of this, what is really important throughout the process is your capacity and your engagement. And that's something that we really put a lot of emphasis on. Okay. So let's think about what the structure of the IEU is. You all know the GCF board. The IEU reports directly to the GCF board. The IEU in turn has 4 important and interrelated work streams. The first one is corporate and thematic evaluations work stream that really look at questions that are of a corporate nature. Is the GCF being effective as a whole? What sorts of adaptation activities are most effective, for example? Those are all thematic or corporate evaluations. The second are process and implementation evaluations. What are the policies and procedures that GCF can employ that can make it much more efficient and much more effective? It's really about implementation, procedures, and policies. The third work stream is really to provide advice to help build data systems and to build capacity. So it's the impact evaluations, data systems, methods, advice, and capacity support work stream. And the fourth one is a work stream that helps to put all of this evidence together, to synthesize it, to create learning products, and it really helps to consider as to what can improve our own uptake of our learning. In all of this, we are providing support to the GCF Secretariat, which in turn also is responsible and reporting to the board. To the GCF Secretariat, we are asking the following questions. Is the GCF Secretariat doing things right? Is it doing the right things? In doing this, we are informing both pillars of our mandate, which are accountability and learning. The third question that we have here is, why is the IEU important? And I want to present that the IEU is important because it is a promoter of learning and accountability. Let's think about how it does that. So you could have an adaptation project or a mitigation project that you're thinking about and that the GCF invests in, right? The important questions that we'd want you to ask and answer are, did this project or program cause the change that it was anticipating? Cause is a very important word here. The second question that we would ask, and that we would want you to ask, is, would the change or the effect have occurred anyway, that is, in the absence of GCF investment? Or was the GCF investment in some way responsible for causing this change? The third question that we would ask is, how much was this effect? Can you measure it? And the fourth important question is, are there other ways that are cheaper to bring about the same effect? And it's really important that we start to answer these questions at the project and the program level, because it's only then that we can then answer as to whether GCF investments as a whole are causing transformational change and a paradigm shift. And it's only by building and answering these questions at the project and program level can we measure how much of an effect GCF cumulatively is causing. So some of the questions that we end up asking are, is the GCF being efficient? How can waste be reduced? How can GCF become more effective? Can GCF NDAs and accredited entities build better from the beginning, build their projects better? And what policies are missing? What can be strengthened? How can we help in that? We also can help you to answer questions such as, what should you care about when reporting on impacts and results? And last but not least, how should you measure impacts? What's the right kind of data system? What are the verification methodologies? What is the reporting methodology that you can employ? And do you have the capacity? We can help you with all of that. The last set of questions that I think you might be interested in asking is, well, what do people in the IEU do? And that photograph on your slide is essentially our team currently. Yeah? So let me try and answer that question. What do? We set standards and guidelines for evaluations, overall evaluations, midterm evaluations, and end-term evaluations, etc. We also review the self-assessments that are done by NDAs and accredited entities as well as implementing entities. And we assess as to what extent are these credible. We help to build capacity around evaluation amongst accredited entities and NDAs. And we also are mandated to involve accredited entity staff in evaluations, all the while informing GCF replenishment so that we can constructively inform improvement. The evaluation criteria that we use in our evaluations are as follows. So we look at, are the programs and projects that the GCF is investing in, are they relevant? Are they effective? Are they efficient? Do they have an impact? If so, how much? For whom? Who are the beneficiaries, but also who are the losers? If there are losers, can we mitigate that loss? Are projects and programs sustainable over long periods of time, or are these just transient? We also try and figure out whether projects, programs, themes are coherent with other climate finance delivery mechanisms. To what extent are our projects and programs including considerations of gender equity and social equity? And are projects and programs being country-owned, or are they just ideas that are captured by an elite few? And that's really important because one of the foundation pillars that the GCF is built on is country ownership. We also consider innovation and the extent to which programs may be leading to a paradigm shift. We also examine replicability and scalability because finally we do want to see change at scale. And so the extent to which programs and projects can be replicated as well as scaled is clearly very important. And last but not least, we also do look at unexpected results that are both positive and negative that may be occurring as a consequence of GCF investments. With that, I come to the end of this presentation. And I want to end by saying that we really look forward to engaging with you and getting you to participate in not just the evaluations that the IEU is undertaking, but in also planning for evaluations. Come to us with questions that you might have around how can you build better programs? How can you build better evaluations? How can you collect better data? What should you do to build a good theory of change? All these are questions that we can at least advise you on. We are also going to put together a separate presentation on some of these methodologies and tools that you might be able to use. With that, thank you very much, and thank you for listening.